Hello everyone, here we are. We're back with part 3 of the generator house build. I did it. That's where it was. You can even see the platform sitting down there. Yep. But now, as the door rises and we all wait with bated breath, there it is inside the barn. I actually made room for it. I did. I swear. It took me a while, but I did it. So stay tuned. Come on back. We will be showing you our next move on what we're going to do with this to try to get it ready to house the generator on a permanent basis. We'll be right back. Well, here's the pile of stuff that we're going to be using in order to try to get this put together. That's the vent that's going to go right there. That's the fan that's going to go right there. There's the power that's going to go from this box all the way over to right there. There's the generator that's going to go right there. And you can see back here the exhaust system that I showed you the last time in part 2. Plus all the other little pieces, parts that I will need in order to do this. So, first thing we're going to do, I think, is going to be to try to get this put in and as solid as can be, if I can. We're going to try it. We'll be back again. I'm not going to sit here and have this running while I do it. I'll show you the after effects of it as I get done. Oh, okay. After measuring, remeasuring, and then remeasuring after that, and getting everything marked, I dove in head first and cut the hole. That was a bit nerve-wracking, but I did try the vent that goes into it, and it does fit. See, I can put it right. No, actually, it will fit. Let me see if I can get her in there. And there it is, just like that. Now, the problem is the back of it over here, which has a screen, was made to go on a gable part of a door of a house, and I'm going to be bringing this in from the back to clip it and help hold it. So in doing that, and from what I saw on YouTube view with other ones, I decided that I was going to go in a different direction a little bit, just a little bit. I took some measurements. Let me scoot up here. And if you look inside, I put a piece of wood in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and temporarily screw that wood to hold it into place. I'm trying to get ready. I think I'm going to get ready to do the same thing over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that gap with that stuff right there called Great Stuff Window and Door Foam. I'm going to fill it up with that. And when it dries, I can then trim it out even. Same way down here, I'm going to fill all of this up. And up here at the top. Then I'll take a razor blade and I'll trim it all up. That should make it a whole lot more solid than what it is right now. which means I can then ram a screw through and into that wood, and it'll help hold it and be invisible at the same time, so that all I should have to do is just caulk the edges around to give it a finished look. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing here. Is I got a piece of wood in here, I got to make it solid, put a couple screws in it. I got to try to get a piece of wood to put in over there, do the same thing, and then I'm going to shoot it with foam. When that's done, I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Alrighty? Okay, we got the piece of wood over there, got the wood over here, and it has been foamed. Now we wait. I figure tomorrow morning will be a good time to come out here and trim all of the excess foam off. It'll dry, and then we'll test to see if my theory was correct or incorrect. But nevertheless, either way, I am seeing to where we should have the vent up and in here tomorrow, and maybe even the hole cut for the fan that goes on the other side. Okay, till tomorrow. Well, it's the next day and everything looks nice and dry. So I'll get out the razor blade and we'll see if we can get this all cut off, and hopefully we'll be able to get into town and get some screws and start getting this put together. Okay, onward and upward we go. And there it is with it all trimmed off. And you know, there's still some give, of course, but it sure is way more solid than what it was. And then with having the wood inside here, I should be able to screw that front end down real good into that. Make some pilot holes and screw that in, and I believe then all I have to do is caulk it and then go on the inside, do the exact same thing on the inside. The difference is the inside will be a lot easier simply because it's more of a flat surface in here. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, I got this side of it mounted. Now, we're not done, but you can see here, hold on a minute, let me try to, I actually, because I put that wood inside before I foamed it, I'm using that wood to hold these. Now, these are the metal siding, metal roofing screws, only they're white, that fit like we put on our roofing and on our siding. They have the rubber grommet on there to make it water sealed. Now all I have to do is go around the outside edges and make sure she's sealed that way and caulked. But with that being said, and that actually being mounted in, because I've used 8 screws to put that in, gently, making sure nothing turned or, you know, pulled, and also just to make sure that the little rubber grommet was compressed a bit. The outside of this part of it is done. Now comes the inside, and we had a dilemma. And Mama and I had a conference meet between the two of us, and I think we came up with a solution. The dilemma is this. That is the interior of this vent. It is what houses and has the screen on it to keep bugs out. What this is supposed to be is mounted against the wall of a house or a building, then the siding installed, and then the outside snaps into this. Well, that's all fine and dandy, except in order to get this to snap and hold, that means this screen, and I'll lift it back up here again so you can see my problem. that screen is going to be outside, and it was never made to be sitting outside. So what to do? Well, we came up with, hopefully, a fix. And here's what we're going to do. I have already gotten this hardboard, laminated hardboard. And you can see I've cut it to the size, and we're going to cut it a frame so that when I cut the interior out, the exterior part will be here. We're going to have it marked with that in there that will show each one of the grooves for it to be marked and gone around. And then we can run screws through this and then through that piece with the screen sandwiched in between. And that should hold it. And it'll also make it easy to remove if need be, and replace the screen if it should ever get to the point where it's clogged. It's also going to make it easy to see, visible, as far as the clogging is concerned, or maybe even an annual cleaning, who knows. But when this is all cut out and we're ready to be inside and working on that, I'll be back and show you how that and how that is going together, or how it has been put together, whenever I actually get to picking this thing up again. Be back. Okay, I just come up with a new idea. I kind of like it, but at the same time, it may make it a little more difficult, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up here, and I'm going to run a strip of duct tape along here to hold this in position and taut. I can take the duct tape and keep it taut while I put it up there and then try to make the screws. I have already done the framework. I've pre-drilled. It's not going to snap like I was hoping it would, but it will at least be up there, and I will use the stainless steel screws on the inside to help hold it. So I'm going to do the duct tape. I will show you what that looks like before I put it in. I get busy here because I want to get this done today, or at least this part of it anyway. Okay, got the duct tape on it. I've gone around to each one of the slots that was in this piece, and I cut it with a utility knife. Now I'm getting ready to lift the top and open it up and go in and try to get this thing mounted. Let's do it. Okie dokie. There you have it. I use a bunch of 3/4 inch self-tapping screws, but you know, of course, Mama come in and just blew the wind out of my sails when she says, you know, a mouse can eat right through that screen. So now I'm looking to see if I can find some aluminum or steel or metal screening that can go over that underneath. You understand. Okay. That's it for the day. It doesn't seem, I know as far as this is concerned, that I've done much, but it's time to quit. Okay, we'll be back out probably tomorrow to work on this. Maybe we'll do some more on that and the caulking on the outside, because there's going to be quite a bit of it. I've got all of those gaps are going to have to be filled up, and across the top, everything going to be watered, proofed, and caulked up. And apparently I need to go find me some metal screening. I think I have some somewhere. I just have to find it and see if I can get it cut and put underneath there. And then from there we go on over to the fan, which is on the other side. We'll be back later. Okay, we have one more thing to do on this part of it, and that is to get this all sealed and caulked in. Kind of come to the conclusion that I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of it before I worry too much about that screen that was on the last clip that I put on here. I am worried about it. I know the mice will chew through it. I know that they would get in, and this would be a great nesting place for them. I do not want that to happen. So we're going to wait until we can pick up a little bit of hardware cloth, and we'll put that hardware cloth in front of this screen that we have on here. And I think that should just about keep them from coming through it, especially if I get this small 1/8 inch hardware cloth. So, okay, I'm going to try to do something here. I don't know if I'm going to be capable of it, but I'm going to be turning and flipping and flopping this thing in order to try to get this all caulked and sealed up. We will be back shortly to show you our progress. Okay, there you have it. The first strike of the caulking. Haven't done either side, whatever. I just remember back when I was working with Habitat for Humanity, and there was a woman there that was doing all the caulking, and I was watching her, and I was listening to everything she said to do. And everything she said, if you don't really think about it, is all contradictory. But I have tried to do what she said to do, and it seems to work most of the time. What she says was, you got to have confidence in yourself. You got to take your time and hurry. Now that right there doesn't sound right, does it? But it does. When you take your time and hurry, that means you go at the rate where you know you're covering everything, but yet you never stop moving. It's the stop and moving that creates the holes and causes the problem. So anyway, I'm getting ready to tilt this thing up on its side so that I can do this, because it's always easier and better to do it horizontally rather than vertically. I'm going to try to tilt it up on its side, see what I can do. If I can't, okay, well then I'll just do the best I can. I'll be back and show you results. And there it is. The perfect bead. The perfect caulking. All the way around, flip to flopped, flop to flip. Everything is correct. You know, it's hard when you're so good. Okay. Well, another thing that you have to do to make that perfect bead, if you're not a professional, you got to get you one of these. That's called what I call a perfect bead tool. It takes off the excess and leaves a real pretty finish. Now, there is a lot of fill on both sides of this where it looks like lap siding, and hopefully it'll all stay there, but if not, I'll touch it up later. But anyway, that's this side, and that's this episode, or this part. I think this is part 3. So we got that in. That's a biggie. On to the next one. Oh, this is Stead Homer. We hope you enjoyed your visit. Hope you come back for the next part of this, which would be part 4. I believe that'll probably end up being the installation of the fan. Don't forget to give us thumbs up. Subscribe. Tell your family, tell your friends. Tell your local professional trim caulking guy, gal, person, however you want to call them. They'll get a hoot, I'm sure. We'll talk at you later. We hope you have a blessed, blessed, blessed day. Bye-bye.